So as we progress the exercises beyond the initial 8 and beyond the rhythmic stabilization exercises for more variety, then we'll get people so they're going to be on top of the ball some. When you think about the size of ball that is ideal for you, you like a ball that is about the same height as your knee, and then geometrically it will match your size about as good as possible. You'll notice that when you're doing the exercise where the ball is on your belly, and sometimes when the ball is underneath your heels, you might want a ball that's slightly smaller. So it could be smaller ball for the exercise where she's in the hook line position, ball's on the belly, but we will put her on this ball when she starts to get on top of it. So she lays with her back on the ground with her head on the pillow. Then of course we had our basic exercise where she was compressing the ball between her hands and her thighs. And then we had the rhythmic stabilization exercise where she worked into doing a partial sit-up. Now she can do a resisted sit-up. If she brings her hands a little closer to her chest and then compresses the ball hard against her thighs. And then as she does a partial sit-up, she'll roll the ball up her thighs and try to keep the indentation the same on the ball. So the further the ball goes away from her, the longer the lever arm becomes, the more work is going to happen on her anterior chain. She'll go down and rest, and then repeat the process. So this would be a way of adding to the challenge of the initial exercise where she was just compressing the ball against her thighs. She can feel that there's a ton more muscles working. You see the shaking that's occurring. When shaking occurs, you know, the muscle is working as hard as it can in order to sustain the contraction. And to tell you the truth, we like that. If people can do it safely with no increase in symptoms, then that means they're working hard enough to really create a positive change. She may also think about doing the exercise where she's holding the ball at the equator, and if she squeezed the ball hard, then she could start to move the ball up and then pull it down to her chest. And she could have two forces. One would be to squeeze the ball hard, and the other would be to compress the ball into her chest so she'll feel more upper quadrant muscles working. If she continues to squeeze the ball hard and pushes the ball to the ceiling, and then really reaches the ball to the ceiling so she feels her shoulder girdles come around the side of the ball, she'll feel that the demand on the muscles is greater. She could do the same starting out in the basic position, squeeze the ball hard, and then bring the ball down to her thighs. And again, have two forces. One is squeezing the ball and the other is pressing the ball into her thighs more, so she'll feel a huge amount of muscle work around her shoulder girdles and trunk. Or she could do the opposite, squeeze the ball hard, bring the ball up over her head until the ball touches the floor. And then she could have two forces, one squeezing the ball hard, the other is pressing the ball into the floor. So if she had any kind of shoulder pathology, she could only move through the range that was symptom-free for her shoulder. If she had good range, she could do these exercises where she's moving the ball through range as she goes. If she wanted to make the exercise a little harder where she's compressed the ball against her thighs, squeezing it hard, pressing the ball against her thighs, then do a partial sit-up, then she will really be calling in tons of upper quadrant muscles. Again, when you think about it, non-weight bearing, some joints getting out of the loose pack position a little bit, but basically pretty darn safe, a way of recruiting tons of muscles.